They were grading the road, she got a flat tire, and she wanted the road grader to help her change them in.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. It is now 5:08 according to my clock. I want to call this meeting to order. Invocation, item 2. I would like Commissioner Duggins to lead us on that. Can everybody stand, please?
Heavenly Father, we ask your blessings today on the family of Ray Martinez here. We pray that healing will take place within their family unit, and we pray for others that are sick and lost loved ones, that you may also do the same with them. We always pray for our people incarcerated. We pray for the officers, the soldiers around the world that are trying to keep peace as they do dangerous jobs. And we pray today for the farmers, ranchers, the people that are harvesting the nation's food, and we ask that you keep them safe. And we ask your blessings upon this commission, that we may better lead the county of Socorro. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Aguilar, can you lead us on that?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
Martina, you're getting any sound at all? I can hear, like, there's sound coming out, but I'm not getting.
We're not recording.
At all.
Can you call IT?
Yes.
Need to turn anything on?
You know, they usually come in.
Nance, did you grow some grass? Enough,
What's that?
enough to get through the winter?
Well, let's hope so. We got a good rain last week, actually.
Did you? I thought the rain was over, but we got some, last night we got some real Puerco water.
Really?
You know, that stuff's dangerous. It's, we're pumping, so we mixed it, but it comes in so thick,
Yeah.
bentonite, that it killed whatever we put it on.
Yeah, it's that yellow.
Oh, it put about that thick on the field and just like plastic.
What about the roots?
It's not too bad. It's kind of red.
Yeah, that's red.
Is that your country?
That comes from our country.
Thank you.
That comes all the way from. That comes all the way from.
Yeah.
The Rio Puerco and the Rio San Jose come together on sticks, right where 6 is at. And you come to Rio Puerco.
Which one's bringing the mud?
I would say probably the Rio Puerco.
And what'd you say, San Jose?
Rio San Jose, that's the one that comes from France. That's mostly spring water.
Is that, would that be like Los Alamos water?
No.
I thought, did you say Los Alamos?
Rio Puerco, yeah, so that starts around Camus. Rio San Jose starts in France, and they beat up.
Oh, Amos, yeah.
They beat up.
That area brings a lot of salt, they say.
Well, that Camus area brings this. No, I don't even know what that is, but yeah, it's a big one. Yeah, I don't know that, sure. Yeah, they might still use it for something.
IP's on their way.
What's that big volcano that Orville used to lease for cattle?
That's the Bahia Grande, that's the Bahia Calderas National Preserve now.
No more cattle? You know, and I know they're smart people, but I just can't get over why they don't allow more grazing and mature timber cutting. And instead they would burn it. I just don't get it.
Make any sense, doesn't it?
And in the conservancy in the valley there, I went down through.
Okay, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Aguilar. Vice Chair Secretary,
Present.
Commissioner Duggins,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez, and Chair Martinez.
President, Madam Clerk. Approval of agenda. Before I ask for approval, I have been requested with the approval of the commission to move item 10C up to committee and department report right after the sheriff's report. Is that with your approval, commissioners, to do that?
Searching.
Need a motion?
So.
Motion by Commissioner Secretary,
A second, yes.
second by Commissioner Duggins. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. The approval of the agenda is approved with that modification. The approval of minutes. Did you have a chance to review the minutes in your packet, Commissioner? September 10th, 2024?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to accept as is.
Motion by Commissioner.
I will second, but I do have some questions, later in regards to, well, not necessarily the minutes, but the, board packet. I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Evans to approve, second by Commissioner Secretary. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The minutes of September 10th, 2024 regular meeting are approved. Okay, thank you, easy for the minutes. Item 8, acknowledge written department reports or verbal. Jeff, you will be first.
Chairman Martinez, commissioners. First, I'd like to say that I privilege to be with you.
Ken.
Sheriff's office. The sheriff's office is at your disposal. If you have anything. I don't have a lot to say. That's my start before I keep you here for a couple hours. But we finally got a full coverage. We have all of our positions are hired. You guys starting on the 2nd of October. Commission that keeps happy with this. Dominic Montgomery. So for the first time, and I can even tell you, sheriff's office is at full capacity. Thanks to you guys, thanks to a lot of things. I'm pretty excited, to be honest. We're going to be able to have 3 people on night shift on each shift once the rookies are off of field training, and which is going to give me an extra officer on nights. And what I'm gonna try and do with that officer is I'm gonna put him at different points during the night, depending on who's on. And I'm gonna try and get extra coverage in Magdalena, off Marshall's, a little short staff. So we will have a lot more coverage, especially in the evening. Magdalena, Alamo area. So they're gonna be going between Alamo and Magdalena. So it's in the nights that they're going to Alamo, we'll have 2 people going in that area. Stay down here with. We can find if there is a state police officer on shift, those 2 can work together, and the other 2 can go on with us. So I mean that should be, that's gonna be, and it's gonna be West Patrol. I started off with Magdalena, but it is gonna be between a lot more. Other than that, you guys have any questions?
Commissioners, questions?
Mr. Chairman, I just wonder the number your BOCC employment. So what is that number?
From me down, there's 15 deputies now, including myself.
Is that more than 5 years ago? I mean, you said
It's more than 5 years ago for sure. We added 2 extra deputies. So when I first started at the sheriff's office, there was 15. And 2 sheriffs had to give up a position each. So Sheriff Montoya gave up a position to be able to get pay raises for the guys. And then years later, we were so far behind in pay that Sheriff William Armijo, gave up a position to be able to push the pay up. And through a really good grant, we were able to fund 2 positions. First year, they funded completely. Second year, half. Third year, a quarter. And then the 4th year, I believe we take over and absorb those positions. During our last county manager, he was able to calculate that those positions would be able to be sustained. So, and county manager, current county manager, he's also so it looks good.
so you gained those 2 positions
We gained them
back.
back, yes, and it's going to make a difference. You know, we do have 2 uncertified rookies that are going to have to go to the academy. They're on field training right now, so it's 2 people for 1 vehicle. But I mean, heck, they'll be off field training in probably 3 months. And then I'm not sure if they're going to the academy in the summer of next year or how we're going to work that out. But probably I'm going to try and get them to the earliest academy I can get them, so they don't have to wait for again, we're going to be still stacked. It's going to look good.
One other thing, you've heard me mention these drones at night. You know, I was planting for a neighbor here all night long the other day. You know, many times we work at night, and they're like right on top of the tractor. You know, not right on top, but they're obviously. It just feels like such an invasion of privacy. You know, it just doesn't sit well, and I just wonder just who it is. I mean, they're numerous.
So there's more than one?
Oh yeah. Some are distant, you can see. I mean, you can see the red or green lights, and they're not stars.
We called range control, and they said, "Oh, it's not us."
Like maybe state police or some kind of a.
Not that they don't have that kind of.
They're up all night, you know. They don't. They're not a neighborhood drone. It's a.
I don't know if it's the feds or anybody else there on the it's just really strange. I've sent my guys out there after you called me.
Yeah.
Occasion.
No, I think
No, I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen them before myself, but I don't know.
Well, it's uncomfortable. You know, it's just they're obviously moving with us when we move around on the farm, and it just if it's not law enforcement, then who is it, and what are they doing? You know, are they
not local law enforcement? do have a drone, but.
Yeah, but these guys are a little higher and they're there all night. It's not, you probably have a battery powered some type of drone that
Yeah.
you couldn't sustain it all night.
No. But you're not the only farmer that's.
Well, they make the irrigators, in my case, me mostly, but they make them nervous. You know, one guy irrigating on another farm, he takes off running, and it's just like, and of course they're not right on you, but they're definitely moving with you, and it just maybe Attorney Nance, if would. You know, to go into somebody's house, if something, you have to have a warrant of some kind, I suppose. But like this, in this case, if it's some type of federal, state, I don't know, but is that against the law? Can somebody?
Drones can be flown, I believe it's at 50 feet. They have to be above 50 feet and below 300 feet, and then it's under Federal Aviation Administration airspace. I took the class at Tech.
Well, somebody said it might be the Tech, they have a drone
They do have
program,
a
maybe?
drone program, it could be. But yeah, they are allowed to fly. But if they get lower than that, then you know, the proper agency in contact with the FAA, they have exclusive jurisdiction.
You said no lower than
I
50
think it's 50, yeah.
and no higher than what?
It's like 300 or 500. I
I bet these are,
What's that?
I think it's 400.
Okay, 400.
I bet these are higher. It just seems wrong, you know, invasion of privacy, you know?
Really high.
Yeah,
400 feet, if you see a drone at 400 feet, it's almost, even during the day, it's almost hard to see it with your naked
Yeah.
eye. I mean, it's way up there.
But these guys have you can see the lights, and then you put your phone on video or something and expand it, you know, closer, and you can see it's a motorized something. I just wondered
And like I
if,
said, next time, call me and we'll come out there to see if we
I
can.
hate to,
Commissioner Martinez, if I may. Commissioner Duggins, have you ever checked with the Middle Rio Grande Conservancy? And the reason I say that is when we're watering, because we water out there and we slope this, we've had the ditch riders saying, oh, well, the Middle Rio Grande has their drone, and because you're on the water bank, we see that the water overflowed to the part that it's not supposed to be. But they have mentioned to myself and to my husband that they fly drones.
well, they
Just a
do.
comment.
Yeah, they do have, you know, I've not known them to, I'll ask about that, but I've not known them to like surveil, you know, like if there's a dam or if there's a plug or, you know, they may use a drone or something, maybe like the sheriff uses to look at a problem he's having somewhere. But I'll ask about that, but
It has been mentioned to myself and my
yeah,
husband.
they do, you know, fly the river and stuff. And there's other probably state engineer or something that are watching. They're coming down on what they would call illegal irrigations. Their record keeping is lacking a little bit, but they're coming down on it. It's really sad to see what's happening to the farms. That's all, Sheriff. I just.
Anything else?
Any questions?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So now I'll go into,
Before you go, give me one question, not one comment from me. At our last meeting, we had a discussion, I brought up some stuff. And since then, the article that came out in the paper, I've had a lot of calls from the public. They were grateful that we're starting to look at stuff like that. I also had a call from the mayor of Magdalena, and he told me he'd be willing to meet because there's things that he feels that what was said are not true, and that's a reason that I made the comment that we all need to meet in a room with all those agencies where whatever is said there, everybody hears it. Everybody hears it, or you can defend yourself with things like that. I still feel we need to have that meeting, and he's in agreement to have that meeting. And I've talked to the manager about it. We need to schedule. The mayor cannot be here for another week. He's going to a conference. He said to wait until he got back. And I told him, I'm gonna leave it up to the manager to schedule it. And to me, the people that go to that meeting, we can all sit down professional and discuss how we get better at it. Because when the public starts telling you that there's stuff going on, and we need to start doing something. I'm glad you're fully staffed. We can help each other. They're short staffed. I don't know all their issues. There's where we discuss it. How do we help them? Or how do we help the tribe to, because there's a lot of stuff out there too that's going on. The key should be us getting better.
Yes, and there's a few things I can add to that. So I have to correct my mistake in one point. So I did say that they refused to come out. But what happened is they weren't called that night. What it is they have, according to my deputies, who I just spoke with my night deputies, they're saying that there has been several times, and they believe, and I'm not 100%, that there has been contact between the marshals and dispatch says they're not going to be coming out after hours. So to calls after hours for the state police or the sheriff's office. And I do believe, I don't want to say anything that I'm not 100% about, but I will find out. And by the time that meeting comes along, I'll have 100% answers on stuff like that.
Well, that's why we all need to meet.
Yes. Also, our response wasn't an hour. It was a little over 20 minutes. And that's even going 100 miles an hour. If you can go that much between Socorro and Magdalena, that's pretty good time. And I know state police got there about 5 seconds before us, but we still took the call because the state police officer was getting ready to get off duty.
Thank you for helping out. And that's like I told the mayor, I'm here to point fingers. We're here to get better. All of us.
If that's all on that,
Yes, sir.
then I'm going to move forward. I know that I brought it up in other meetings that we have received $400,000 junior funds from Senator Josh Sanchez. He gave that money to us, and the county manager has been working on it and seeing what we can use it for and what we can't use it for. And we've come to the conclusion of how we're going to use it. And I think county manager could probably explain it a little better than me, but it is going to be used, from my understanding, we're going to be able to use some of the money, a good portion of the money, to help increase the pay wages of the deputies very substantially. And it's going to entail, we're going to be using that and using it to where the deputies are going to be doing more patrols in the northern part of the county and, well, the communities. But we're going to be doing some extra patrols up north as well. And it's going to bring our wages up for at least 2 years to competing with Valencia County. Pretty close. And that's pretty exciting. Jennifer Sanchez has been helping us for the last few years, and this $400,000, to my recollection, is the most we've ever done. It's also going to be going to, we're going to be using it for vehicles. And I know, man, we're hard on our vehicle in law enforcement, but we're driving them 10 to 12 hours a day, so that's going to help a lot. Can't think of enough. We've had other monies from Representative Armstrong, and I think even Rep. Jaramillo has also helped us in the last 2 years. But this is the most substantial, and the first time I think we've been able to use it for stipends for money. But from there, I'll turn it over to county manager, and he'll correct me.
Actually, thank you, Sheriff. No need for correction, but I'll just go ahead and add a little bit to it. So at 1:30 this afternoon, we received the consent of the South Central Council of Governments that's overseeing the $400,000 on the county's plan. And we've received approval for the plan. What it entails is roughly $80,000 is going to vehicle maintenance so that we can actually start addressing some of the tires that need replacement, as well as some of the other different things to make sure that the patrols are actually able to withstand the new mileage that's going to be put on them. But the numbers come down to when we're talking about the increased patrols up in northern Socorro County, to where we're talking La Jolla north towards Valencia County. For this year, we're looking at each deputy being able to earn $461.54 per pay period. So when you multiply that out for the rest of the fiscal year, that deputy has the potential of earning right at about $9,200 additional for the extra patrols that are going to be happening up north. For fiscal year 2 next year, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of each deputy $591.72 for roughly $14,000 for the entire fiscal year. So these are going to be a substantial increase, but it's not money that's just being given to them. It's a stipend. So they have to prove that they were doing the additional patrols. So it's all tied back into reimbursement from the SCOG.
Is that overtime, or is that the time that they're already, I don't know how much time they probably put in overtime, don't they?
They do put in overtime when they can, but I believe it's not overtime, it's gonna be on patrol. So, we're gonna be doing a lot of extra patrols up north. I think it's gonna come out to about 6 hours of extra patrol a week. In the area per deputy, not per shift, per deputy.
Are they based on a 40-hour week? After 40?
An 84-hour work week, or work pay period.
So 4 of that would be overtime? Or-
It's not, we don't get overtime until after 86 hours.
Remember they did that too, because of, they were.
So, and now with having a full load and once we get everybody out of field training and out of the academy, now that's we're gonna have some. Heck, on Wednesday, well, we got, well, let's go to Mag, there was 6 or 7 of us, we went to the schools in different groups, so one of the field training officers with their rookies went over there to the schools, walked around. After that, they went patrolling. The other field training officer with the rookie went into the school, walked around, showed them around. Then after that, the captain and I went in there, walked around and did patrols. I saw a vehicle ran a stop sign coming out of one of the local drug dealers' house. And sure enough, he had a warrant and fentanyl on him. I was like, wow, that was quick. And so, the captain and I got that one real quick. And so we're gonna be doing a lot of that. And also some of the money that we're gonna be freeing up is gonna be going to narcotics. So we're gonna be ramping up the narcotics again throughout the county. And again, I get real excited for doing narcotics. That's my thing. So, and that's the biggest thing that I hear from the community itself is they're afraid of the drugs and what it brings in. So that's another thing that the money he's helping us free up is going to go to. So, I mean, it's pretty substantial for the community. That being said, the last meeting, Commissioner Martinez mentioned wanting to meet with Senator Sanchez and thank him for that, and which I think is very, very, very big. From that, it's okay with you guys. I'll turn it over to Senator Sanchez.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, County County Manager. Sheriff Lee, thank you. Thank you guys for having me here. Commissioner, prayers and thoughts. Family.
Thank you.
It's an honor to work with Socorro. I mean, I've been down here since I was a little kid. I've known Glenn, hauled a lot of hay in this area, know a lot of people in this area. So when I became the senator, it was all I could do to help any way I can. I've always supported the police. I represent outside of the towns, so I have the counties, and a lot of times we forget about our county sheriffs. The municipals are taking care of the state police, and we need to help them too, but sometimes these guys are left out. I've worked very well with this man. I've seen him on his patrols. I was at the Fiestas La Jolla the other day. He had officers there. I've been out to Magdaleno and there's officers there. The county fair that I came to, officers there. La Promesa School, there were some officers there, just doing checks. So hopefully with this money that we can keep doing this, and I can keep giving this money and helping the county. And not only with the sheriffs, in any other way we can help. I know there's so many needs that the counties need, but I'm here. I believe all of you guys have my cell phone, my email. I answer every single call, every text message for you guys, all the constituents that are here tonight, in any way I can help. I'm honored to be here tonight, and thank you for letting me be here.
Well, on behalf of the commission and myself, we want to thank you for this. It's a big help. I know that this year, our governor, you see it on the news, she's being tasked from every county to help with what's going on in the state, with drug and alcohol and everything. So I know this coming year for the legislature, she'll be looking at funds to be able to help. I'm hoping for everybody. And I think this is a year that, as us, as a commission, we need to request as much as we can. This type of information, like you said, Sheriff, that you're going to have extra patrols going, that needs to be discussed at the meeting that we're going to have. So everybody knows and the public knows. So we can keep the public informed that we're going to have more patrols. People are scared. People are scared out there. And people know what's going on. But it's like anything else. They don't want to say nothing because they don't want to get marked or get in trouble or somebody will burn their house or whatever. We need protection. And the more we can do it, the more we let the public know, the better. But I cannot tell you, thank you so much for the money that you gave us. That's a big help, big help. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys, and any way I can help in any other way, let me know. I appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to thank Senator Sanchez myself that I wish you the best in your upcoming election, and you've done a hell of a good job for the people of Socorro, and well, it's appreciated and needed. Sometimes we get caught as a county, like in a year or two ago, something about the radios. The sheriff could tell you, the state police, something changed, something about their radios, and it wasn't no longer communicating with the radios that the county had, I suppose, something like that. And we went through the money to upgrade or do whatever. There's a lot of mandates that come out of Santa Fe with no money behind them. That's what I'm getting to, but we do thank you, and it's very much appreciated.
Yes, on that, I remember, I think it was the 700s or something radios came out, and I was able to fund junior money for that too. Your sheriff is very active. He contacts me, and all these mandates that do come out, he's got to keep up with it or whatever. He's very active calling me, and we're trying to get money for that, and we were able to get money for that to help you guys with that. So, like I said, anything we can do, reach out. I'm here to help.
I'm sure you're aware also this commission has written, 3 letters, attorney Nats, to the governor?
I believe that's right.
I believe 3 with no response. Asking to, get this border shut down where we know most of the stuff is coming from. I guess nothing is 100% perfect, but I just don't understand why, when it's coming through that door, why you don't shut the door. And I know that not you, but you're a little closer to the governor than we are. We can't get a response, and Chairman Martinez, he took it to the County of Associations, and I believe
Didn't all the counties?
Yes, that's on the agenda to present. 33 counties.
Well, Mr. Commissioner, yeah, we are close. She doesn't listen to us. We had that special session. We all saw what happened. 4.5 hours, we went and did nothing. Senator Diamond, myself, tried to run a bill that said if you were caught selling fentanyl, that it would be a first-degree murder charge. And they said it was too harsh. Never got a hearing, never even got into the committee. I mean, we know what fentanyl is doing to our communities, to our families. Somebody's been touched by it somewhere. You hear it, your neighbors, sons, somebody's been touched, and it's getting closer and closer. And you're right, I mean, she needs to help do something or it's gonna be too close. So, we're trying.
I know you are, and thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Sheriff, thank you. All of you, thank you. Your prayers.
Thank you. Have a safe trip home.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Anything else you can think of? I'm gonna have to run as well. It's my daughter's birthday, so.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
Okay, does anybody else have a verbal? We have the written committee reports.
Now, for 4-H. Okay. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I'm Jamie Fassett. I'm in the 4-H office or NMSU Cooperative Extension. And Emily put together just a really brief report, and it was slides. We had lots of photos from the fair. But just really quickly to summarize how the county fair went. Lots of numbers, 133 indoor projects, and that's about the same as last year. That's the sewing, the cakes, the pastries. We also had 271 head of animals, about the same as last year, just a little bit down. And here's a fun one, total raised $217,000 at the auction, selling 61 animals. That is an amazing community supporters there, supporting the kids. Trying to go very briefly. So on to that was the summary of the county fair. We had about 60 entries indoor, go up to state fair. Lots of winners there, 36 different first to third places representing. We also had 10 livestock exhibitors go up, very competitive. You'll see the listing of all of the placings there for our members. And one animal qualified for sale. And they're similar to our sale. You have to place first or second in order to qualify for the sale here. First place at the state level qualifies for the sale. There's a few little moving around, but as you'll see, that's that hog, and it was a Socorro bred hog, raised $3,500. We also had a family go to the Navajo Nation Fair, super excited, and that is again very competitive, and ended up with 2nd through 5th place. And Emily, not able to make it tonight, she's down in Las Cruces, the Southern New Mexico State Fair. Just started today. The shows are tomorrow, sales on Friday. That was a lot of numbers. I want to throw out something that we often do in 4-H working with youth is have the kids reflect. This one was really simple. We went to meetings, and it's called the 3-2-1, 3 people to thank. 2 things that I learned or memories, and 1 thing I would change. And I just compiled some of my favorites real quick. These are from the kids about fair. People to thank: my parents, the community, the judges, the fair board. Things that I learned: walking into the showroom, proud of my hard work. Another member said how to manage my time. And this one's interesting to me and I love it, is this was actually a 12-year-old. How to work with others in stressful environments. Probably parent yelling, a judge, telling them to move this way or that. But that's something that is going to stick with them. And the last thing, just a few fun ones, things that they would change. I want to be at the fair more next year. I would like to show pigs, and I would like to see more opportunities for other kids to get involved. Any questions?
Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, I've got to send a message to Emily Bruton. You know that the farming economy is pretty bad.
It is.
And your membership is, this is a very good thing. Keeping kids busy and giving them pride. We talk about helping our people that are incarcerated. But I guess, I don't think I could ever leave here, but it crosses my mind in the last few years, why am I doing what I'm doing? I should just sell out, and where am I gonna go? Well, I don't wanna go where it's more humid, and and I think of people like Mr. Aguilar and Julie. At 63, how am I gonna ever make the friends that I have here? We have our troubles, but we have it. And the other day, shopping at Walmart, I got to the cash register and reached for my wallet and didn't have it. And I didn't have very much, but Emily, her husband, were right next to me checking their groceries out. And I said, oh, shoot, I got to run to get my wallet. It's in the pickup. And they insisted on paying for my stuff. And I said, no, this is right outside, But yet they insisted. And for those people and for those type of things that, they can say whatever about little towns, this and that. Tell me a story like that in Albuquerque or in others. I mean,
Yes. That's a
there's some
story.
beautiful people here.
Yeah.
They're kind of quiet sometimes, but anyway, I just wanted to share that with, I'm sure you all have similar somethings, but I couldn't imagine, making friends and leaving my friends. It would be pretty tough. So thanks to you, your hard work, Emily Bruton.
Yes.
I mean, this is a good deal.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chair, before we let her get away real quick, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done. That it was a pleasure this year that I actually got to go out there and participate as one of the judges. And it's one of those things that if individuals have not had the opportunity to volunteer to assist, I would say make sure to take that time. That in using the 3-2-1 process to look at different things that I learned as a county manager this year is that as a county, we're going to have to do a better job of making sure that we have visualization and support for these different types of county endeavors. So one of the things that I'm changing for next year is I've given the directive from certain departments that they need to participate in the county fair because it's the Socorro County Fair. And so Firewise and some of those other programs are going to be having booths and being able to get out there and be able to show what Socorro County is doing to make sure that we're supporting all of the youth and making things go forward. So that's going to be one of those changes coming forward.
Thank you.
Manager Lotry, did not some people incarcerated have cakes or baking? Isn't there something going on like that out there?
They did, yes. The RISE participants did take part in that. And I can tell you as one of the cake judges, just being able to do all of those different tastings of everything that the youth provided, it's absolutely extraordinary, some of the bakers that we have here in Socorro.
We love bakers.
And you know, it's a wonderful opportunity to highlight all of the great things that the county are doing. And it also just helps your heart to be around a great community of kids who worked all year long. And then this is the big hurrah, and it's just great to see. So I love the idea of the county being out there and all year long. We do stuff. We're constantly working with kids and getting that growth and that beautiful stories, hopefully making those happen more and more.
Well, you see the pictures around.
Yes.
And I've seen them in there in your office doing stuff. That's the future of our county. Some of those individuals are gonna be probably productive here. Be the manager, maybe, be a commissioner, be somebody. That's the future. Glad that you guys are doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Did you guys see the other written reports, commissioners? Questions? Managers report, verbal.
One of the things that I've been working on is going over the road concerns. So I'm going to share with Commissioner Duggins, and he can pass it on. But one of the things that Danelda has been able to put together for me is going to be a roadmap showing the maintained and unmaintained roads in Socorro County. That this is going to give us a better idea of where the funding is going, if there are any lapses, and exactly looking at how we can look into the future of setting up policy as to how we're making recommendations for the roads that we're monitoring. Some of the other things that we've been doing is Chair has been kept in those communications with some of the changes at the road department and how we're starting to address some of those concerns and how we're being able to send individuals out there now to take care of some of those different issues around the county itself. And so that current structure of leadership we have at the road department right now has really been able to step up and is starting to address some of those different situations that we have. One of the areas within the next couple of months that I'll probably coming to speak with you are going to be some of those roads that there are joint agreements in place between us as the county and BLM, and kind of what is progressing in that neighborhood and some of the different aspects of those communications that can be either improved or expanded upon. And so some of the other areas that we've been touching on then in the last 2 weeks since we last spoke is going to be in regard to our fire departments. And right now, with the assistance of Gail Tripp, we've been able to start formulating different standard operating procedures and putting into place a nice little game plan of to how we can start attracting and really retaining volunteers throughout the county so that we can look to start bolstering what's happening. And those discussions are going really well.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the manager? Gentlemen?
No, sir.
Okay. Acknowledge commissioner's report. Commissioner Duggins, do you have anything?
I suppose not.
Vice Chair, Secretary, do you have anything?
No, sir, not this, sir.
Okay. I just, for me, I attended a BOCC meeting this past week, and they gave all the information in our county. Currently, there's one volunteer, currently 3 cases going on that they're dealing through the courts. In Torrance County, there's 3 volunteers and 13 cases, kids that need help. Catherine County, no volunteers and 1 case. The county had provided a room for CASA volunteer to work out of that room. So far, they haven't been able to hire one. They've advertised. It's a good program. We have money to be able to help. They even mentioned the JACK program It's to help kids on CYFD. They currently have 150,000 in that program per year. But they're looking for somebody to be able to take that over in this area to help. They need board members. So hoping that as the meetings continue, we can upgrade that up. And then the other meeting that I went, the CLL meeting, we had it last week. It didn't go too good. We had to cancel it. We rescheduled it the 30th at 10 in the morning. It'll happen here. That is something that is well worth having. I will be terming out in December, so they will be asking for a commissioner to join that committee. So let's see if one of the commissioners will get it. I also attended the DWI meeting on Zoom. That's a good committee that's doing a lot. I shared some information with them, and I'll continue being on that as long as I can. I thank them for everything they do. That's my report for now. School. Which one was it? When we went to talk to the school. Oh, yeah, go ahead, you can do it.
Oh, wait, you go ahead.
We also attended a school board meeting in Socorro schools for the RISE program for the inmates. That went well, and they signed the MOU to continue doing it, so that was good. Myself, Commissioner Duggins, and then I left so we wouldn't have three commissioners. Commissioner Aguilar also came out and spoke that. So that's a good, it was a good thing. Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
go ahead.
if I might, this RISE program is taking people that are incarcerated, the county paid tuition, I suppose it's called, for them to get training in welding and maybe other things, but they were here in our last meeting, and it's a good thing. It's like I said in the school board, you know, so many times we brush our problems off. Well, that should have happened at home. Well, it should have, but it didn't. And so in our custody, and I commend the manager for taking these steps, and Eddie and everybody involved, the Socorro School Board, for letting this happen, New Mexico Tech. And it's the only way. We don't want them. It's the same people going in and out of jail, you know, and they go back out, they do their time, do whatever, and they fall right back into the same hole that put them there in the first place. So this is going to help our community, help them to be able to help themselves. Thank you, Manager.
If you didn't have a chance to see that meeting on Zoom, the school board meeting, I would recommend that you see it. You see especially the part where Commissioner Duggan spoke, said a lot of good things in it. So it'd be nice if you want to see it and hear it.
Where is it at? How would you find it?
I don't know. We'd have to contact the Socorro schools.
Is it on YouTube or something?
We would have to contact the Socorro Consolidated Schools. I'm not sure where they are posting all of their meetings. I know that they have it available electronically, but I'm not sure if it's on their website or not.
But if you can find out, and that way we'll see. Okay, next item is public comment. During this portion of our meeting, we welcome your suggestions and want to hear your concerns. This is not a question and answer period. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. The County Commission is not able to take action on matters discussed during public comment. Speakers are requested to state their name for the record. Do we have any public comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Don Harris, and I was here when you brought in all those guys that are doing the welding, and we're talking all about that. And you know, I really would like to know how to weld, but I decided it'd be easier to hire one of those guys when they get done than to go to jail to find out how to do it. I really think that's a valuable, worthwhile thing, and I'm anxiously awaiting a welder. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. The next item, recognition of service. First one is Pedro Guerrero for obtaining the IAAO state appraisal certification. Julie, explain what that is.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So in our office, and in order to work there as an appraiser, you have to pass certain classes. You have to become certified in our office. And this is through Property Tax Division in Santa Fe requires it. So if they don't pass the first class after a year, we have to let them go. So you start going, you go through like 4 classes, you become IAAO state certified appraiser. With this title, you can go anywhere in the state and work at an appraiser office. If you become a member of the IAAO association, you can go anywhere in the world that appraises for county, for government. You can work, they'll hire you because you're certified, you have this certification with you. They're hard classes, they're 4 classes. Each one is like a semester class done in 4 days with a 4-hour test on Friday. They're very hard classes. A lot of people pass them really easy. Some, like me, you know, it's a struggle. You really got to know math. It's about capitalization. It's all kinds of stuff with appraisal. It's like a regular appraiser going through a course like Orban Witten, who's in a fee appraiser. It's kind of like that. So we have to do these courses. And when I first came into the county, I don't believe there was anybody in the county assessor's office that was a certified appraiser. So I'm a certified appraiser. My chief appraiser is a certified appraiser. My deputy assessor is a certified appraiser. And now we have Pedro, who just became certified. And with these, once they become certified, these classes are only offered once a year, unless county gets permission from the state to hold a class, and they can hold a separate class. And then after they're certified, they have to go on and do continuing ed. So it doesn't just stop there. You got to keep taking these long classes. Once they do that, they get the certified, and then they get the stipend. That stipend we've talked about. Once they're certified, they'll get $9,000 every year, extra money for them. And that was created so that way we can keep these appraisers working and not have to be training, because we had one in there that was already 2 levels, and he got another job at Tech, which I'm glad he did. He needed to move on, and that's fine. And now we have to start again with a new appraiser, and so it kind of keeps them in our office, our hands, whatever. But I like Property Tax Director Ira Pearson is the one who comes down. They always come down for the person that gets totally certified and presents them their certification. Ira came down at the last commissioners meeting, but he came in the morning, didn't realize we had the meeting in the afternoon, so we couldn't get on the agenda in time. So he just presented it to Pedro there. So when I was speaking to Mr. Andrew Lotridge, and he suggested I present it to him here at the meeting. So Pedro. So we want to just present this, and this is just his certification stating that he's an IAAO state. Come on, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew. That he's a state certified appraiser. So, and this is to Pedro. And it's an honor to get this. It's hard work. I tell people that when I pass away, I don't want a tombstone. I want my certificate on my gravesite because it was a hard class to take. It means a lot. I mean, it does mean a lot. And to have certified people in an office that deals with your money, that deals with your pocketbook when you have to pay those taxes, to certify those values, you can answer all kinds of questions. So with Pedro, so now he's considered a state certified appraiser, but he's also our GIS mapping director or GIS tech. GIS, I don't know, we haven't really come up with a good thing, but he's gonna be our mapping tech. So he's, moving up in the world and, he's a good worker and so he deserves that. And, it's just an honor, I guess. I mean, it is. But,
The mapping, is that what Elaine used to do?
Well, when Elaine was with us at the mapping, what Elaine used to do, so he's gonna take it over, and Elaine, me and Mr. Lartridge talked about it, and Elaine's gonna oversee him. We're gonna try to move the mapping back into our office where it belongs in the first place. It needs to come, because we have all the information in our office, it should be in our office. It's hard to have someone come with mapping questions, and then we would have to send them over here. So now that Elaine's with us, she'll oversee him and we'll be doing it out of our office and we don't have to be sending customers all over the place.
And that has to do with addresses like for
No,
911?
address, it won't have nothing to do with E911.
No?
That's gonna stay with Denelda. We're just gonna do the mapping stuff. And as an IAAO appraiser, anybody in our office wants to take the class, they're welcome to take it. But they also offer mapping courses, IAAO mapping courses. So he will start taking mapping courses next year in July. All these classes are offered here at the Tech. And the reason we were told that they offer them here at Tech once a year is because Socorro doesn't have anything for them to do, but to go to class and go back to the room to study. That's how hard these classes are. They don't want the students to be out partying or anything, so they have it here where they can just go back to the room and study. They are hard. So anyway, that's for Pedro. So now, I didn't expect to speak, but so now we have another one, a new employee in our office. He's been there 2 years now, and he's at an appraiser 3. And he's taking these same courses and he'll be taking, hopefully the 4th one, we talked him into taking it now in December. One of the counties is gonna offer it. And he's gonna take it, hopefully he will become certified. I know he'll become certified. But for Eric Spargo, these certificates are sent to us and then we give it to them. Those ones are hand delivered by the property tax director. But this is Eric.
Not a dollar frame.
And this is for Eric, he's an appraiser 3. He's really excelling at what we do in our office. He's really very well. I have a plan for him once he becomes certified. So, but congratulations. It's an honor to have appraisers like that in our office that can answer questions and go out and do what needs to be done and understand it. I guess that's it. That's all I have to say.
Before you leave, I just want to give a friendly challenge to the other classes. Tonight was a demonstration of what the class of 1989 from Socorro High School was all about. And the dedication that the class of 1989 has towards the commitment to future growth here in the county. So just a friendly challenge to the other graduating classes that now you see what 89 is about. Come on out to the county and show them what type of spirit you have and take these classes as well.
Didn't think about that, but yeah, they both graduated.
Graduated in 89.
With Andrew.
All the same class.
Yes, retired.
Well, congratulations, Pedro.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Eric, thank you. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you.
And I would like to say too to Andrew, on this thing about challenging us to do the fair and all of that. I think that's great. I think my office was excited that you gave them the hour and 15 minutes off to go to the homecoming break because we always go. We leave someone in the office, but this time we didn't have to. And we're always the first one. I just give it to Donna, or Berna, or Priscilla. We're going to do this and this thing, and they're ready to go. They're setting things. We've done the trunk or treat for the community, but the city does it. We've gone out. Some stuff we bought with county funds to give out. And the other stuff we bought with, I would buy candy and stuff, and we'd make little bags. But it's neat when you get them all involved in everything.
That's good.
It's just kind of neat, so.
Good.
But
Thank you, Julie.
that's it.
Thank you. Item 11, Socorro County Options, Prevention and Education Scope, Health Council. I ask these ladies to.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So my name is Samantha Winter. I'm the coordinator of the Scope Health Council. Veronica is passing out a little information packet for all of you. We also have a few board members here as well in the back. So we just want to take a moment to kind of talk about some of the different work that we've been doing lately. We held a collaborative strategy session in Magdalena. We've been holding a series of different town halls, forums, discussing different topics here in the community and really getting feedback from the community as far as what kind of outreach you would like to see us do. So we just kind of wanted to go over that a little bit about some of the different things that were addressed. I know we talked a little bit about some of the fun things that make Socorro and things that we really value here in Socorro. So as part of that strategic collaborative session, we actually had them make a values tree, and this is part of your packet. And it was just what do you appreciate about Socorro County? What do you think our values are as a community? And so it was a really nice little visual that they all the participants got to put together and say what they liked about Socorro County. Because as we know, like outreach is great, but we all tend to kind of focus on a lot of the problems of the county. Kind of like Commissioner Duggan mentioned, we need to address those things, but also look at some of our strengths and some of the things that really make Socorro County the amazing, beautiful place it is. So we really loved this exercise and really kind of looking at some of those different things that we appreciate about Socorro County. Along with that, we also had an alternative, a pie in the sky activity as well, of a bunch of different things that we could see anything in the county, what would it be? And so we had a few people who participated in that, and these were some of the different things that they mentioned. But some of the things that I really kind of wanted to go over with you all would be some of the talking points from the discussions that we had while at that session. One thing you'll see in your packet is the Socorro Strategies for Success Youth Survey results. We went over that a little bit, just some highlights. We've been presenting it with the school boards, as well as with the school administrators, school staff. This survey is collected in partnership with Socorro County Prevention Coalition, SCPC. They help collect these surveys in the schools, in the middle school and high schools within the county. The exception to that is the Alamo Navajo schools. We do not have an RBI to get those surveys, so we do some thought-in surveys and a little bit more kind of forum discussion questions with them. So this is specifically for Magdalena schools and then the Socorro schools as well, including Cottonwood. So you can see some interesting highlights there. There's a little summary page on the front. Some things to kind of look at with that is a general positive finding that substance use is decreasing for every substance, including alcohol, e-cigarettes, marijuana, opioids, and cigarettes. The one beautiful thing about the survey is we're able to conduct this yearly. So we're able to track trends a little bit more closely than, for example, a lot of the state surveys that are typically done on a 3 or 5 year cycle. So we are seeing some decreases in those target areas. We recently received the Partnerships for Success grant from SAMHSA. With that grant, we were able to start really targeting alcohol, e-cigarettes, and marijuana, and traditional tobacco cigarettes. So with those, we really were able to kind of start targeting some of these substances, implementing BOCC, and then towards these forums and these listening sessions, implement some additional outreach. So from that, you'll see in this little packet, we had participants on a giant sticky note write some of the different things that they would like to see as traditional outreach opportunities. So some of these we actually were able to start implementing pretty much immediately from some of these little listening sessions and little forums. So for example, something that was mentioned is hosting more alcohol-free community events, trying to put in some more commercials and advertisements in the local movie theaters and different PSAs, things like that we've worked towards, as well as like mental health promotional materials in alcohol retailers. With the underage drinking forum that we were able to host, we were able to get several alcohol retailers, including Walmart, to come and participate with us and discuss some of the different underage drinking concerns that we have in our community and ways that we can address that. So we really were able to start kind of targeting and really kind of some great outreach opportunities that we're able to knock off right off the bat. So there's other opportunities that are mentioned in this. We have not put together a formal plan yet. We're working with our grant evaluator, Natalie, to put together a full formal plan, which I will present to you guys later on. That should hopefully be coming by the end of October. So I'll be able to give you a more formal plan later on. But you'll be able to see some other different outreach opportunities that we've identified and that were mentioned in the strategic planning session, including our opioid prevention, as well as mental health opportunities inclusive of harm reduction. From some of these listening sessions, we were able to form a more close partnership with BOH. We always had a partnership with them, but unfortunately, as many of you know, the public health office here has been understaffed. So they were able to hire a health promotion specialist for the region, Jordan, who was at this session. And so we started working with them to bring in a mobile harm reduction unit. So with that, with some of this opioid prevention, we'll be able to start offering more harm reduction services targeted to those in need. We're partnering with Seguro and several others to offer more easily accessible Narcan, fentanyl testing strips, condoms and safe sex education, as well as HIV and testing. So lots of great things coming up that we're working on. We're also working on increasing some of our harm reduction services at our scope office. And we are working with Tech later this week for World Contraception Day to get more contraceptive information out on Tech campus, specifically female condoms and things like that. We're also increasing a lot of our healthy eating initiatives as well. So we, many of you know, we do the bike rack project here in town, all the red and green chili bike racks. We had the Magdalena Welding Club make those for us, which we greatly appreciate. So we were able to receive a small grant to continue those, and we're continuing working towards some of those healthy eating initiatives. A couple other things with that that I'll mention here momentarily is that we also have a great partnership with Seguro. And so one of the things in the pie in the sky thing that people talk about is wanting to really increase some of these alternative transportation options. We know transportation is an issue here in the community, so we've been talking about different ways to kind of go around that and other alternatives. So something that was mentioned is like a rail to trails or something like that, bike path, walk path between Magdalena and Socorro. That does involve infrastructure such as, you know, where to park your bike when you go to different stores, bike lanes, signage, all sorts of things go into that, including bike repairs. So Shay here had a wonderful presentation for you all as well, talking about some of the different opportunities that we have coming in Socorro County. So I'm going to take a moment and let her speak about some of the wonderful offerings. I know we kind of run it out for a little speaker on you guys, but I wanted to give her a chance to kind of talk about some of these fun things that we've got coming in the county.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Shay Kelly. I'm the board chair at Puerto Seguro Safe Harbor, which is the day drop-in shelter for homeless and impoverished individuals in Socorro County. If you're not familiar, I just gave you a packet. It kind of talks about the bulk of our services, but we have a couple new projects starting that are coming up. And the main one that I want to talk about tonight is Socorro Spokes, which is a new nonprofit bike repair shop. If you're familiar where the old framing shop is, that's behind the thrift store on 107 California in Socorro, the space became available, and we are currently renting it and renovating it to turn it into a nonprofit bike repair shop. So we're going to do several projects with the space. The last couple pages in the packet that I just gave you talks about that. There's a page like this. This talks about Socorro Spokes. We're modeling this project after a couple different organizations that already do something kind of like this, like Esperanza Bike Shop in Albuquerque, which is municipally funded in Albuquerque. And also there's several other nonprofit bike repair shops throughout the country that have been working with us on creating this model. So it's an earn a bike program, having access to affordable transportation. Socorro is very flat and bikeable, so making bikes affordable and accessible to folks became a very big priority. An earn a bike program involves 8 hours of volunteer work in exchange for a bike, as well as a loan a bike program. We're working with the New Mexico Tech Bike Club, which already meets on Wednesdays at New Mexico Tech and offers sliding scale bike repairs to the community. And they are sending volunteers to us into our building to provide those sliding scale bike repairs, as well as their loan a bike program, which they already are implementing on Wednesdays. The Socorro Youth Mountain Biking Club and Socorro Trails all have, these outdoor components to what they're doing, and they needed a space to be able to host events, organize events, have a meeting space, things like that. And the old framing shop is the perfect space to do it. It's got kind of like a workshop in the back and like a meeting space in the front. So it's perfect for it. So the loan a bike, also eventually hoping to bring in bike safety classes and then skill training. So you'll also see in the packet that I gave you, we have another new project coming up, which is a teen and young adult drop-in center on Saturdays at Puerto Seguro, where we already provide these services to adults. So this is a place for teens and young adults between the ages of 16 and 24 to come in, do their laundry for free, get free hot meals, get meal kits, take showers, have access to free Wi-Fi, and get case management services essentially, so service referrals, things like that, as well as like financial assistance like gas cards and help with moving into subsidized housing, things like that. So to tie in that Saturday center, which opens on October 5th, to this bike repair shop to also provide youth mentor services, and a place for youth to come and like hang out and learn some applicable skills that they might be able to use later in life, eventually maybe becoming mechanic certified and things like that. So that's kind of the dream and the hope for this project. The space is already is already under lease, so now we're just moving forward with bringing in all of the volunteers and things like that. Are there any questions about any of that?
Questions, Commissioner? Mr. Chairman, hi, Shay.
Hi.
We're sort of neighbors. They
Yeah.
have some of the best honey you'll find on the highway there, Beach Alma honey. But
Thank you.
it's hard to find the words. You do an amazing job.
Thank you.
You know, and I mean, look at the help here that they're giving up to the community, and without them, I don't know what we would do. You know, and these people need a place to go. I know I've been there a few times, and I just like the numbers. You have a budget, right? I mean,
Yeah, a very small
what do you do
budget.
this on?
Not much. So our budget for the services at Puerto Seguro so what we're discussing now is the services that are always provided Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that's where we have free hot meals available for everyone, free laundry, free showers, all the same things that we'll be offering to these on Saturdays. We've been offering at Puerto Seguro for 23 years. We are not state, federally, nothing funded. We're not funded by anyone. The city gives us 6% of our operating budget. We have a few little grants that we get from like the Catholic Foundation. 81% of our budget is supplied $5 and $10 and $15 at a time by members of the community for the last 23 years. Our operating budget is about $166,000 to provide everything that we're providing, including financial assistance, rent, utility assistance, gasoline assistance, all those hot meals, those meal kits, the laundry detergent, the hygiene supplies, everything is provided. We only have 6 employees. I'm a volunteer. Our entire board is volunteers. We rely on hundreds of hours of volunteer efforts every week to get through with what we're doing. It's definitely a shoestring operation, and yet we still manage to continue to expand services year after year after year. We became a certified harm reduction clinic in 2022. We started a jobs program in 2023 to hire and train individuals and get them out into the labor force. So we train people at our thrift store. We have the thrift store at 107 California. It's completely not profit. We don't make any profit off that. We give away most of what we bring in there to people who just got into subsidized housing, who need housing supplies, things like that, or a suit to go to a job interview. But we train people in point of sale systems. We train people in our commercial kitchen to get food safety certified, and that helps folks, enter the labor market.
On what, 100 and what,
$166,000, yeah, is our budget.
I need you to run my business. But did you not help out with people in the burn situation over there in?
Yes. So when the fires hit Ruidoso, we're uniquely positioned to assist in a crisis. So we worked along with Gail during the Ruidoso fires and kind of spring into action immediately. We already provide hotel stays to people who These are very high-risk individuals, and this is, year-round. We're providing hotel stays to people with extreme disabilities, women with small children, pregnant women, people in domestic violence situations. We will put them in a hotel. We have a contract with a local hotel. And so when we saw people being displaced from the Ruidoso fires, it just made sense for us to organize to start covering hotel stays for people. We knew that the people who were going to end up here in Socorro were going to end up in hotels. And so we did outreach to all the hotels here locally to make sure that the people who were here and who were displaced had their hotel rooms covered. And then also worked with GOP, who did a fantastic job getting resource information out to the people in the hotels. We provided hot meal transportation to the families that were in the hotels. And we used basically like an emergency budget. And it was about $3,000 that we spent keeping families, especially with small children and lots of pets, in hotels throughout the duration of their displacement until they could go back to Ruidoso on that Monday.
I would take a lot more time. I mean, we can see what they're doing. And Commissioner's Manager, is it not better to try to catch people that are needing help falling at the moment, like our RISE programs like hers? Is it not better to catch them at that point than say without RISE? Where does that put these individuals back in jail? Does it put them maybe risk of life? Who knows what the cost is in theft in our local merchants and homes and this and that. And what I'm going to is it not wise for the county to find a way to help fund these people in what they do, and with a report once a year or something on how you spent the people's money? I know we can't take public money to benefit somebody, but this is a nonprofit, and what do you call the tax?
501c3.
Certainly. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, under the anti-donation clause in New Mexico, the law doesn't differentiate between a 501c3 and ExxonMobil. I mean, if it's private, it's private. That said, there are ways to do it. For instance, there is an exception to the anti-donation clause to help the sick and indigent. So if we could do a contract for services that help fund it, it's just dealing with sick and indigent, which I know that is a large percentage of their population. There are possibilities there. They're not necessarily easy and clear cut, but there are possibilities that we can certainly figure out if that's the direction the commission wants to go.
It just seems to me like, I mean, your frugal doesn't cover it. I mean, yeah, I don't know how you do what you do with what you have. And I'm just saying there's a lot of people at risk. There's a lot of people. And you're doing a hell of a job. You have a very good track record, right? And I would like to see, we stepped up this county commission and we helped our neighbors in Ruidoso, and we should. And if government can't come to the aid of people falling, I've always said, look here, good people will have a safety net, right? Sadly, some people will need that net all their life. Other people need it temporarily, we hope, and to move on. But good people catch people who fall. And we're good people. And for my views, Mr. Chairman, we should search a way to help these people.
If that's the wishes of the commission, we can task our manager and our attorney to start looking at it and see how we can help. And then when they have the information, then we can put it on the agenda to vote to see how much and what we can do. I'm all for it. When we approved the amount to go to Ruidoso, we still haven't sent that money because the commissioner from over there said they were getting federal money. They thanked us for the help, But if they did need money, they would contact us again. If I remember correctly, it was 200,000 that we were gonna give them, or 100?
100.
100. So,
And we put it in our emergency.
yeah. So it's worth it. Do you guys remember the Vida program? That they shut that down. And I was very disappointed when they did. And my wife used to work there, not for, they hardly pay enough money. She didn't do it for the money. She did it to help a lot of those people.
I think that's most of us in these jobs, unfortunately.
Yeah, and to this day, a lot of those people call her all the time. They ask her for this, ask her for help, and she knows some of those people are struggling. They got confidence with her, and she cares a lot for those people. And I think we need to continue that. And this, we need to continue that because there's people that need help. We need to do it.
I might add, Mr. Chairman, my grandmother participated in that.
Yeah.
And then she did not have to go to a nursing home, and because of programs like that,
Yeah.
it was a tremendous amount of help. The Meals on Wheels and all of that type of stuff.
Take them to activities, do them like that, because some of those people can't do that. So I thank you for all you guys are doing.
Thank you, and I'm more than happy to come back and talk anytime about the data, the numbers, how many people we're serving and stuff. It's pretty staggering for the location that we're serving, how many people we actually serve and things like that. So thank you so much.
I think the manager will be contacting you to get that information so he can present to the board how we can help.
So the commission has tasked the manager attorney to see different avenues, see what we can do.
Yes, and one of the things that I've been doing in the last couple of months is I've actually been able to attend the scope presentation here in Socorro as well as up in Magdalena. So I've been already tasked myself with trying to figure out exactly the different programs that are going on within Socorro County, as well as how we're able to create the avenues for them to start connecting the different streams. So we can do those different strings that are out there and hopefully build a sweater that's going to actually cover the entire Socorro County. So this is a task that's already started.
Any more questions for this lady?
Thank you so much.
Before you scope, if the commission will support it and our manager, I would recommend that you guys are invited, if you want to that meeting that we're gonna have with law enforcement and stuff to help us coordinate it, because you guys are pretty professional. I went to the one in Magdalena and you know what you're doing. We need people like that to help us to get better. All the information that you have here with the schools and everything, all the surveys, that information can share at that meeting.
Yeah, definitely.
And share it to the public so they know what's going on in them.
Yeah, we would definitely love to do that. One of the beautiful things now that we have you, Grant, we thank you again for that letter of support that you wrote. With that, we were able to get that Department of Health funding as well. We are, fully staffed now. We have multiple staff members. So part of our goal, especially kind of outlined in the forum, was the need to share this information. Share both the survey results as well as the needs in our community, as well as the beautiful things in our community, and really break down those silos. Part of the reason Shay is here tonight is to really kind of break down those silos and share some of this information kind of cross sector, both within our different administrations as well as to the public. So yes, we would love to be a part of that meeting in the future with law enforcement to really kind of see where we can kind of bridge these gaps and fill in these niches.
Do you guys approve?
Absolutely. They're boots on the ground. They're the ones firsthand. They know the situations much better than we do.
Okay. You'll be getting a call from our manager.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And if you all have any other questions too, I know I kind of blew through that presentation kind of fast. So if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Andrew's been wonderful. my person to make sure I don't forget things is coming to me. Even, you know, we are listening to the community and we listen to y'all's needs as well. Mr. Martinez, I just wanted to say too, one of the things that you mentioned in the DWI meeting as far as the fentanyl overdose in Magdalena, we have been in contact with the library, with Vaughn up there. We just recently purchased what's called a one box. It is a dispensing unit for Narcan, kind of like an AED, the box. So what happens is basically you have Narcan in there. Any layperson can open the box and it actually gives an instructional video on how to administer it, as well as a little training video. So we've been going across the community to do multiple Narcan trainings. I know you have seen my wonderful harm reductionist present on some of those Narcan trainings. This would do a very, very summary version of the training for any layperson. So we just purchased essentially 6 pilot boxes that we're going to be putting in at some of the local businesses, and especially at the Magdalena. I was supposed to deliver it on Friday, but then we got kind of busy in the office, so it's actually going to be going up to Magdalena tomorrow, and they're going to be implementing that up in the library there. So if you all hear of any concerns in the different regions, anything like that, we want to be available for every part of the county. We are countywide, and so please come to us if you all need anything.
I'm gonna attend one of your Friday meetings.
Please do, it's nice. You know, go coffee and chat, like we can do a lot done with some coffee.
Mr. Chairman, the box, you mentioned the library, I got a little lost there. What's in the box?
So it's
Book or you mentioned
no,
Narcan.
so it's Narcan. So it's called the one box. It's basically a first aid box to dispense Narcan. So something that's been seen on the basically on the national level is that unfortunately and fortunately, public spaces such as libraries become kind of a hotspot for overdoses because they're open, they're public, you can come in and spend a large amount of time. And there's no stigma associated with it. Libraries kind of across the country have been utilized as a distribution point for harm reduction services such as Narcan. So Narcan, for those of you who don't know, is a little nasal spray that prevents an opiate overdose. It kicks the Narcan, it kicks the overdose off the receptors, the Narcan attaches and it prevents the overdose. It just does not last as long as a typical narcotic, so you still need to contact emergency services, but it will stop that overdose and save a life to get them breathing again. So we are putting those in the library to hopefully help with some of the overdoses here, as well as continuing our training.
But it's my understanding on fentanyl, it's maybe it helps a little bit, but it's less effective, could you say?
Not entirely. So what happens, so fentanyl is very, very potent, and it's very, very quick acting. So the downside with Narcan, what can happen with Narcan quite a bit is Narcan is a nasal spray. You find somebody who's overdosed, you administer it, it takes effect within 2 to 5 minutes. Fentanyl is so quick that sometimes you cannot administer Narcan fast enough before, unfortunately, the person has passed away. Or on the flip side, sometimes it also takes multiple doses of Narcan because the fentanyl is so strong. So Narcan still works on fentanyl. It's just you need to act very, very quickly, and you need sometimes multiple doses. Within a box of Narcan, you actually get 2 doses of Narcan for a fentanyl overdose or something like that. So it still works. There are just some caveats to it, unfortunately.
But people need to know how to use it too.
Yeah.
They need to know it's available. And how do you get that word out? Like this box in Magdalena, how will the local people know?
We're trying to spread the word through a variety of different methods. We have little advertisements that we run in the Chieftain periodically. We're also trying to do more ads over at the Loma. Word of mouth is kind of one of the main ways that we kind of get the word out. We do a lot of different training, like full trainings. Our trainings usually last about an hour, where we go over different data, how to prevent an overdose, how to respond to an overdose, things like that. We try to promote those and get those out as often as possible, even to a lot of our different retailers. We provide lunch, trying to kind of encourage people to take those trainings as often as possible. The benefit of the one box is it actually has a video screen in there, where it's a very, very simple base training that they can take within the box itself. So they would not have to have had a vote presentation. They would not have had to go to First World or DWI to get the Narcan or get that training. The box will do it for them. The full training within the BOCC explaining like how an overdose works and how Narcan works is 6 minutes. But then there's an emergency video as well that'll walk you through the Narcan administration step by step. So if someone actually overdoses in the library, there's a video instruction for that. And then there's also just a 6-minute training video for someone, if somebody walks off the street and just wants to know how to administer Narcan, they can take that video.
Maybe the schools could be a way to, I don't know, I would hate to.
There's some
You
school
can do the
policies.
drug and you can do this, and, I would hate to like encourage it, or, you know what I mean?
We have been working very heavily with the schools. The schools have been a great partner for us. There are some policy loopholes essentially that we have to work around. Parents definitely have to be notified before we administer any sort of Narcan trainings in the schools. And then we do Narcan training for the staff as well, both in Magdalena and in Socorro, as well as out in Vita as well. But those are all voluntary. The teachers elect to go to these trainings. It's not required.
I believe, was it 2 years ago, something, when we had 20-some overdoses here in the middle school in 1 week's time. I think there were some kids, or there was a presentation to us that where kids they saved actually the parents' lives. The parents were overdosing, and the kids had some way, Narcan or something, of saving their lives. So,
Well, it's important, like I requested that training one time in Magdalena. That young lady, Veronica, went. There was only 2 of us there. I was kind of disappointed, but not giving up. We can try again, because the more people know, the more information that it's there. Because the drugs are there, and people know that. I know it's worked 2 different times already, myself, Magdalena, where it saved a life. And a senior also that accidentally took too much medicine. He had the Narcan there, and he used it himself. And
because that is an forgotten population. Our seniors are some of the most at risk for overdose because of forgetting to take their medication, mixing their medications, things like that happens very often.
The more that we get out, the training, the better. And I'll send you an email back once I talk to the mayor. We'll schedule it again, because it's worth it, very worth it. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
No problem. Any questions?
Not me.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me take so much of your time. I greatly appreciate it.
Anytime. You come to our meetings anytime. Thank
There
you.
we go.
Thank you.
Okay, item 12, consideration of contract with WX Firegraphs LLC to update the community wildfire protection plan. Mr. Lotry.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, this was actually a placeholder that accidentally got left on, but if you would just please skip over item A, there is nothing to present.
Okay, item B.
Do we want to table, or do you just take
Move on with no action.
Item B, consideration of resolution 2024-55 approving and accepting the National Fitness Campaign grant?
Thank you, Chair. Members of the commission, this started out as an opportunity for the county to get $50,000. And when we put it on the agenda, we then had a meeting with the entities that were providing this quote unquote grant. What it actually ended up being was something completely different than what was presented prior to us attending that meeting. That, in other words, what it is right now is it would be a $50,000 rebate for close to a $220,000 commitment from the county. We were originally thinking that this was going to be something that we could put in over at Escondida, that it might fit within the project scope. But what it ended up being would have been an additional charge to what we already had going over there. My recommendation to you all tonight is to vote no and reject this, because it's going to be creating that huge liability that isn't in the budget for us this year. And we wouldn't actually be receiving anything because it's $50,000 limited to the purchase of their specific item of equipment rather than equipment that fits our needs. So I would recommend no on this item.
Okay, do we have a phone call thing tomorrow with that one? So,
That is correct. So if you vote no tonight, then I will be able to cancel that phone call and let them know that the reason we're not moving forward is because of that additional liability that was not budgeted, that it's not going to be something that we can go forward with this year.
okay. Commissioners, you've heard the recommendation from our manager. What are your wishes? If you wanna vote no, I need a motion to vote no.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Guggins,
Good second.
second by Commissioner Vice Chair Secretarial. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Consideration resolution 2024-55 approving and accepting the National Fitness Campaign grant is a no. So give them a call, manager. Okay, item C, consideration of speed bump evaluation for Valle del Sol, Sylvia Road, Encantada Road, Bonita, and Valverde. Commissioner, manager?
Yes, thank you, Chair, members of the commission. Pursuant to Resolution 2018-58 of Socorro County Speed Hump Policy, any request to install speed humps on any road maintained by the County of Socorro must be submitted via the application, and with more information can be found on the net. One of the things that's happening here is this area that's being requested is actually a square. So there are 4 different roads. In the application itself, you have the addresses from 2 of the streets, but not from all 4 of the streets. That in order to go forward in any direction, the Socorro County Board of County Commissioners has to act either saying, yes, we're going to go forward and look at the installation of the speed humps, or vote no. My recommendation to you right now is to vote no. The reason being is you all can direct me to then schedule meetings out there in this area to get the input of not only those homes, but all of the residents that are going to be impacted, because 2 of those streets are actually main thoroughfares within that area, as well as be able to speak with the different buyer agencies and to get the input of everybody needed. So rather than just come to you with a yes or no tonight, I would like for you all to give me the directive to start having some of those meetings out there with those, and then to be able to come back to you all either November or December after being able to have this opportunity to have those conversations before we actually vote to install anything, so that we don't have residents that feel we installed something without the input of the entire community.
Commissioners, what are your wishes? You heard the recommendation from our manager.
Mr. Chairman, so that's in my area, it's close by. I know what he's talking about, the roads up, and I would agree with that, but I would like to be included within the meeting or meetings that you have with the local people. I'm gone as well in December, end of December, so. Don't look so sad, so a lot of people be happy.
So your recommendation is to vote no, Commissioner?
Yeah, that would be my motion, yeah.
And just as long as you're involved in the meeting.
With the directive of the manager having scheduling some
Community input.
some community input within the community, and I'd like to be there if I can.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Yes, second, sir.
Second by Commissioner Vice Chair Secretarial. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, manager, it's a no for now, and then give us some more input. Item D, approval of transfer of library tangible personal property from the Rio Abajo Community Library to the Village of Magdalena Library. Manager.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, the Rio Abajo Community Library is a privately run community activity. That said, it is technically a county library because under the statute. And so we've received capital appropriations over the years from the legislature, small ones, to purchase items for that library. When you purchase items for that library, they still belong to the county of Socorro. They're being used in the general public and in the library setting. We're advised that they are no longer operating, and they've requested that we transfer those items to the Village of Magdalena's library, and which of course that we are allowed to do so because that is not, it's a governmental entity. It's something for your consideration. We may need to come back with another resolution as well for the disposition of property, depending on what DFA says, but we need your authorization to move forward one way or the other.
And just as a side note to that, Chair and members, I was able to have a direct conversation with the librarian there in Magdalena to ask if they would be open to this. That one of the items that we may need to consider is just right now, she doesn't have the space. She didn't say no, but one of the things we might do is, since we have space here in this building, I could probably hold some of that if you vote to go forward with this. Some of that material could be stored here until the library there in Magdalena can actually be able to utilize it. But that would be my recommendation going forward, is that if you would give us the go ahead to go forward with this, we could continue to figure out what needs to be done next, how much, because I don't know exactly how many materials we're actually talking about right now, but it's just that authority to go forward with the discussions.
Okay, commissioners, you heard the recommendation from our manager and our attorney. Need a motion to authorize them to go forward?
So move.
Motion by Vice Chair Secretarial,
Second.
second by Commissioner Duggins. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have the approval to move forward, Manager. Okay, item E, acknowledge personnel changes. Who wants to handle that? I think we only have one. It's a hard name to.
I don't do it.
Zendaya? Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Zedekiah?
Huh? Zedekiah?
Zedekiah?
Zedekiah? Okay. Zedekiah Casanova, effective 9/14, detention officer or detention center, voluntary resignation.
Need a motion to accept the acknowledgement of this resignation, commissioners?
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Duggins, second by Vice Chair Secretarial. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The commission acknowledged the personnel changes. Item 13, financial action items A and B. We usually approve both of those at the same time. Who wants to take care of this one?
I'll go ahead and make the motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion in regards to 13, combining 13A and 13B. 13A consists of approval of vendor checks dated for September 20th in the amount of $369,737.45. And then 13B, approval of payroll checks, combination of 3 dates. August 8th, the amount of $206,183.52. And then one dated on August 22nd, the amount of $333,307.80. And then the last one dated for September 5th, in the amount of $204,540.05.
Okay. Vice Chair Secretary will make the motion to approve both vendor and payroll. Need a second?
So, second.
Commissioner Duggan second. Any further discussion?
I just like to make
Okay.
thank you very much for bringing that up to date, the 3 cycles.
You are welcome. Yeah, as soon as you made the request last meeting, I was able to meet directly with Selena and she hopped on it right away. So thank you for making that recommendation and catching us up.
Okay. Favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, both vendors and payroll checks are approved. Item 14, executive session. Need a motion and roll call vote to go into executive session and that pursuant to the Mexico State Statute section 10-15-1, only the following matter to be discussed in closed session. A, personnel, fire marshal, II manager, III deputy manager. Item 4, superintendent. And then item B, pending or threatening the litigation. I, Jesse Chavez versus Board of County Commissioners. And item C, real property, Forest Road, County Road 1. Need a motion and roll call vote?
I'll make
Thank you, ladies.
the
Motion by
motion.
Commissioner Duggan,
Yeah.
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Vice Chair Secretary. Roll call vote, Madam Clerk?
Vice Chair Secretary,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Dickens,
Yes.
and Chair Martinez.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we are now in executive session. Thank you.